Hi, it's Sean at Keller Williams Lake Travis Market Center. Today I want to talk to you guys about the importance of a residential buyer's tenant representation agreement. It's probably one of the most important agreements you'll do as a real estate agent. Unfortunately, everybody will get caught doing a transaction or getting close to doing a transaction with somebody and helping them out and not having a buyer-tenant rep agreement, which always ends up in the same way, to where the transaction gets completed and unfortunately you don't get paid because you didn't have a buyer's tenant rep agreement with your clients, and somebody else swooped them and did get the representation agreement, and therefore they're the ones getting paid and you're not. The reason a buyer's rep is so important is because it lets your clients know that they're not customers anymore, now they're clients, and that you're representing their interest. And it also lets them know that they are bound by an agreement with you to make sure to keep you included in any real estate transactions they may encounter on their own. They'll actually, after they've signed the agreement and you've properly explained it to them, they'll be able to tell another agent or a new home ambassador or any of the other different real estate things that they could come across out in their home search on their own, which by the way they will definitely do, that they are represented by an agent and that their interests are taken care of by the agent that's representing them. So, being that I've talked to you a little bit about the importance of it, now let's go through some of it and what it actually entails. The parties to the buyer's rep agreement will always be the broker and the broker's representative, which is you, and then of course your clients. And then of course there's definitions and there's terms. You always have a term on your broker's agreement. Are you going to buyer's rep agreement? Are you going to be 6 months, 1 year, 90 days, whatever the term is? And it goes through the broker's obligations, the client's obligations, the representations, what you're promising to them and what you're expecting them to promise to you. It goes through intermediary, whether you're going to be using other agents you might be purchasing the house through, or different brokers. Both ways are covered in your buyer's rep agreement. Competing clients, goes over the fees, what you're going to get paid. Remember, the seller pays those fees, but if your buyer turns around and tries to do a transaction not involving you and you have a buyer's rep agreement, your buyer will actually wind up paying the fees to the broker, which isn't real comfortable. So you make sure you don't put yourself in that position just by making sure you have the agreement. The other things that goes over that are real important, the reason we have agreements is so everybody understands clearly where their areas of expertise or their areas of performance should be. If they're the buyer, obviously they're expecting you to handle everything. In the event somebody gets sideways and it does go to court, part of your buyer's rep agreement includes the description of mediation, default, attorney's fees, limitation of liability, all those things that are important. Hopefully you would never get to a position where you'd need that kind of clarification, but the buyer's rep agreement gives you that in the event things don't turn out well in the end, which is why we always have agreements, so that things do turn out well in the end. Anyway, and then it finally finishes off where the broker signs the agreement, the client signs the agreement, and then it gives your client peace of mind knowing that they're represented by an agent who's looking out for their interests in their real estate transaction, and it gives you peace of mind knowing that your clients now understand that this is serious and that you're representing their interest in the real estate transaction and you'll be working for them. Now it's up to you to find them a house so that you can properly represent them and help them make their dreams come true. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. That's a little bit about a buyer representative agreement that you have as a real estate agent. Until next time, see you later.